Steam might be back. No, Steam is not back. The thing is, it only uses Steam for the initial matching, and then it's peer-to-peer, so, like...
Yeah, so we should be good.
As long as we can see the server, the server in this case is Brick Road's computer, we're fine.
I don't know how much I would... how much weight I would put on my computer, but I can run Tabletop Simulator. So yeah, that was a very disappointing
have a membrane
combat
right
for me.
here.
That's too bad.
I'm sorry, Brick Road.
I'm sorry.
Listen, sometimes clerics just delete an encounter.
That wasn't just the cleric. That was like 3 AoE
three
spells.
casters.
Even the rogue got it on that.
And that's just...
See, now do you feel bad about that multi-classing? Because Rogue can't do anything like that.
No. I don't feel bad about the multi-classing. The multi-classing gave me a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so what's next?
I think
Looks
we've got
like we
the
got a
member. I'm
member
going
to
to move.
scroll
I'm just
through.
going to not get cut off from my air supply.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You get slurped through again. And this opens up into a small section with 3 valves. Oh, not the right color.
Well, how like Brick Road said, yeah, fire damage doesn't work down here. It's okay. I got thunder damage. 2 campaigns in a row, I had to use thunder damage, but here we are.
There we go. Valve, valve, valve. And then in the center of this chamber is one of these toothy maws that belches out gross bile when you peer into it. Everybody can still see the remaining pings.
Yep.
Oh, I like how we've plugged up the ones that we're done with.
It's actually really smart of you.
Yeah.
That's why I did it.
Just for the record, my ass definitely does not have bats in it.
I mean, I don't know, Your Duchess. Your Grace. I would have to do a medical examination to certify that.
Don't even joke about that. I'm going to kill you.
That is a sentence you had to say, dear cousin. I don't know that you had to say it.
It was said.
But here we are.
So Edmont is going up against this valve.
Yeah, gonna slurp on through.
And you slurp on through. Oh, I did not mean to knock you guys off of there.
Well, Victor's dead.
He had a good luck.
Taken out by GM Fiat.
It finally happened.
Been waiting all
And
these
this is a
weeks.
fairly short tunnel that ends in another valve.
Maybe we should get Sedgwick and Ray to ride the brown note down in my body. Of course, would it even
Would that even work? It primarily relies on buoyancy.
I'm a little disappointed we haven't heard any of Sedgwick's bellowing yet.
You guys
was
set him
really
up with the
looking
sending
forward to that.
stone. He hasn't had anything to...
Bellow about.
I'm gone.
There we go again.
Still here.
So Victor's going through first.
Yeah.
Victor,
But it
you
looks
get
like Steam
slurped
is about
through
to start
first.
barfing again.
This room looks very violent indeed.
Oh, I got disconnected.
I just
There I
got
go.
kicked out.
Oh, yep, all the connections just failed.
Yeah.
Here, let me...
That's right.
Steam is down.
Yeah.
There's a very violent room. You'll never know.
Fortunately, I can save this locally.
Yep. Steam is down.
Do you want to give it about 10 minutes? See if it comes back?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah. Give her another spin.
Good luck to the rest of you.
Trouble?
I'm afraid to restart Steam because that might break everything even more.
I just restarted. I had to get my friends list to come back up.
Yeah, I would actually say restarting Steam is probably good because it'll purge any active connections that are bouncing around places. Boy, I had a really fucking annoying day at work last week where I was dealing with like 10 minutes of latency on a service.
Oh wow.
Yeah! Normal latency is 500 milliseconds!
500
fine.
milliseconds is still a lot.
It's a very chunky API.
Like 500 milliseconds would like drive me up the fucking wall.
It's not for human consumption. Not joking, it's literally like it's there for robots. Yeah, but multiply that by 1,000, Treble. That's what happened.
Could not connect to Steam.
When that happens, you just go get coffee. Time to take a break.
Time to take a coffee break.
We already did that. What do we do now?
So I don't drink coffee, but I drink this hot cider that we get. But it's annoying because the little K-cups they come in, they don't like my machine. They clog every single time. So I had to buy like a plastic reusable K-cup to empty them into to use, but now I got to rinse that out every time I want a glass of cider. This is a big first world problem that I'm having.
Just don't drink cider.
I had to use Task Manager to stab Steam in the throat, and it's still not working.
Good old Task Manager.
Stab it right in the throat. Closing the program was not a suggestion.
And Steam is one of those programs, if you hit the little X, it doesn't listen and it just minimizes it down to your...
Yeah, it sure doesn't.
L -9? Actually, I don't know what the WVM one is for that.
That is actually something like that I will never forgive program designers for. It's like, no, the X is...
It
There
was
is a
once
minimize
sacred.
button. There is a minimize button. We don't need a second minimize button. Thank you. The X means close.
It doesn't,
That
though.
means
Not
go the
anymore.
fuck away. Free up all the memory you were using and go the fuck away. I see a brick road.
I have put on my various Christmas lists this year to all like the tangential people. It's like I'm looking to finish this 5th edition library. So I ended up taking a picture of the books that I have to send up to like my mother-in-law and my sister and like them. So they know what books to buy me for Christmas.
They're going to buy the ones you already have.
Well, I don't know why they would do that.
You sent them a picture of what
Two
you want.
copies of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft.
Well, I
Could make Ravenloft twice as bad.
I already... Last year's Christmas gift was a contribution to that, so this year I went a different route.
Mostly I'm just missing adventure paths.
Yep.
Because I didn't buy a lot of the adventure paths, but all like the... I think the only options book I didn't get was Sword Coast Adventures.
A lot of that's been superseded. Like, everything that was in that is in... Not Tosh's, Xanathar's.
Xanathar?
Basically. Yeah. Whereas, like, a lot of the stuff that was in Eberron is in Tasha's. Just scrubbed with all the specifics.
Everon stuff, yeah.
Didn't we find like a discrepancy in the like one of the Artificer class features between the two books?
It's just a wording change they made.
I don't know if it was discrepancy versus intentional.
Yeah, it was a wording change. It was just they made it to where, and it's a change they made across the board where before, if you went unconscious, your pet just sat there, like so Scrappy wouldn't do anything. But they made the wording change to all the pet classes that have pets like Scrappy, so that Druid subclass and stuff where the pet continues to act under its own volition.
Just starts
Like-
biting people at random.
Well, yeah, it doesn't require, like, if the person is unconscious, it doesn't require a bonus action to use its action. That's basically what they did.
Are you here?
Did we lose him entirely?
He said be back in a second. That was like 20 minutes ago.
The two settings published for 5th edition that I've really enjoyed reading the books. I liked Theros a lot, and I liked Strixhaven a lot.
I think the three Magic the Gathering settings are all very good.
What's
Have
the other
they
one,
announced
Ravnica?
Kaldheim yet?
Yeah. What?
Have they announced Kaldheim yet?
No.
How
What's
have they
Kaldheim?
not done alternate Viking mythology?
They haven't announced. They announced their book release schedule for the next year, and the last book they have planned for next year is Planescape. It's going to be a box set, quote unquote, just like Spelljammer, so it's going to be exactly like Spelljammer.
Like-
It's going to be a
Like
small book.
Time. I don't like. Why don't they? It's literally it's Theros for Vikings. Like it's amazing.
I haven't heard
It's
of it.
all of the Norse realms. It's like everyone when the set came out was like, "Oh my god, why can't I get an RPG of this?" Was basically every Magic player's response to it.
Oh man, you know what I would love to see? Before we get to 1 D&D or 6th edition or whatever they end up calling it, I would like to see a updated Urban Arcana book from D20 Modern, and all barring that, or them to do like the Cyberpunk Kamigawa.
That would also be really good. You're right. That would be real good.
But like I'm a big fan of the Urban Arcana because I like the how they talk about like the first, second, third, and fourth generations of like all the fantasy races. So you have the first generation like dwarves. They all moved to Detroit, got jobs at car factories, and then you got like the third or fourth generation of them. And they don't like the beards, so like they're all clean shaven. They're all like little gangbanger shitheads.
The book that I would like, and obviously they couldn't call it this anymore, but I liked the first edition Oriental Adventures handbook.
Yeah,
That was a
good.
really good book.
I wonder what they would call something like that.
Like, don't call it that, but like just like make up a setting, whatever, name it, call it whatever.
I mean, I
Kamigawa.
feel like Yeah.
There you go.
Just
also like God, you could like now you could have like actual like Korean and like Mongol mythology in there and all sorts. Like there's a lot more for like a Pan-Asian setting to mine from than even the stuff we got in the 80s and the 90s.
I'm back.
It's also really cool for an RPG setting.
I mean, most of what that first edition book was just like, here's the list of weapons and here's what they're called now.
But they do that in the PHP already.
I think we're all back now.
All right.
Yep.
So Victor was our first victim going into
Yes.
this room.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, I see teeth and tongues. This is not.
Yeah, we're off to a really bad start now.
Victor, this room looks a lot more violent than the ones you've looked into previously.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is the floor has almost a stringy quality to it. It's much harder than previously, the previous chambers. Are you skilled in medicine?
No, unfortunately.
Okay. But looking along the walls out into the distance, in the mound in the center of the room, you see rows of, they look like teeth, razor sharp, protruding from the floor and the walls at the edges of the room at various levels. Overhead, the ceiling is also a little bit lower here than previously, low enough that you could reach up with your hands and touch the top of it. But whereas the walls and floor previously were very soft, here it's more like you're walking across something hard, like a taut rubber trampoline almost.
These bulges on the side by the mouth.
Yeah,
These
you see these
large
little,
enough to come
you
out.
see these little orange pustules along the wall, just like you have been in the previous chambers.
Are they big enough where they might attack us?
No, none of them look that big.
Okay.
But I wouldn't tell you if they were going to attack you, so.
I need a doctor. Something's wrong with this man. Something's horribly wrong.
Yeah, he's got adventures.
What are you talking about? Woo!
Edmont, are you trained in medicine?
I am not, brother. You might want to get in here.
Yeah.
Ekon, give you a medicine
Slurp
check
on it.
as you slurp
You
your
got
way
it.
through.
It's 9. Wow. So that's a 10.
A 10.
Yeah.
I can't see him, can I?
No, not on the other side of the valve.
Oh, sorry, you're on your own there.
The walls and floor here, like I described, are much less like spongy and porous and soft than the previous chambers. You can tell by looking over the room that what you're looking at are probably strong muscle fibers. This room, for lack of a better word to use to describe it, is designed to move more than previous ones you've traveled through.
So Victor is going to fly up to the ceiling.
Now, you don't have to. I mean, it's right there. You can reach up and touch it with your hand.
That's right.
It's real close.
I don't want to go anywhere near those walls, and I'm pretty sure those tongues are going to try to eat us.
You don't actually see tongues poking out of the walls. That is a detail that I'm not sure that I noticed before now. But yeah, there are actually tongues.
Did you not?
Well,
Yeah,
because
I haven't seen
I
anything else in this room.
tongues.
I worked this map
in
in...
tongues and blood stains of where the things bit something and made it go squish.
Yeah, but I worked this map zoomed way out in Photoshop, so the little details like this escape me sometimes until I get up close to
Like,
them.
the blood splatter
Okay.
clearly says you're going to be eaten.
Do you want there to be tongues in this room?
No.
Kinda.
Then I wouldn't pick at that scab if I were you.
I am a
Sorry,
little
you are likely to be eaten by a grue. Please come through.
This looks like a safe spot-ish.
So you schlorp on through. You can see that the room stretches away to the south-ish.
I have been in some bad rooms, but this is by far the worst.
Well, the greatest part is if you actually look at the pustules, their eyes, they're like their faces on the walls. Hungry faces.
You're right, they are. That's exactly what
Chris
they are.
just dropped out again.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so Edmont's going around this mound one direction and Ekon's coming around the other direction.
Well, we were until we got disconnected.
Yeah.
I think it's just you.
I'm
No.
not disconnected.
I'm putting you on the brown
I'm still
note.
here.
Yep.
All right. Let's go, brother.
Victor is on the brown note.
Stop right there. So, Genie, you're inside.
Yep.
Let's get everybody outside. Make a dexterity saving throw. How are
Sure.
Orson, Victor, and Evie riding? Are they just clinging to the side of the barrel like fireman? Or are they riding like seated up on top of it? How are they riding?
I guess there might not be room. I mean, we've been doing this kind of just keep everyone together.
Okay,
Victor
but
would be on top of this room.
your options
Yeah.
are basically seated on top or like clinging to the side like a garbage man would.
Yeah, Evie's probably clinging to the side.
Orson's clinging to the side. I heard him say Victor is sitting on top.
Okay.
Yeah, Victor's on top of their space.
All right, so Ekon's save is a 16.
Then Orson and Evie make this save at disadvantage.
Okay. Orson got a 1.
Okay.
15.
Evie got a 9.
Does Victor have to make the save?
Yes. But
Victor.
he's not clinging to it, so he can make a normal save.
Okay, Victor, I'm rolling for you.
Yeah.
You do the math, okay?
Okay.
All right. That is a 5 on die.
It's a dex save?
Yeah.
That would be 14.
Okay, who didn't pass a 15?
Victor,
Did not pass.
Orson failed. He got a 1.
It's going to be 19 points of slashing damage. You can cut that in half if you pass the dex save 15.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
Does evasion help here because it's dexterity?
Yeah, if you've got evasion, you can apply it to this.
well. You all had 12 temp hit points.
As the brown note, lumbering, squeezing its way through the center here, there's suddenly a vicious muscle contraction up at the top of the room that sends waves all the way down, forcing all of the walls together and the sharp protruding bones raking against each other and all of you. Genie, since you're inside, you notice damage being done to the structure of the vessel you're riding in.
Uh-huh.
And again, this vessel was not the most armored structure to begin with. And you don't know how many of these violent contractions the thing can take. After a few seconds, the wave moves all the way across the room to the bottom and expands again.
Genie yells, Ekon, we need to we need to get out through this room quickly and then spend some time mending the vessel.
Yeah.
So you're about halfway through the room, and you can see, for a moment anyway, you can see the valve at the southern end. Oh, it changed my color again. Because how come Steam has to ruin everything all the time?
Yep.
Look at that. So from where you are, moving the entire vessel along with all of you through one of these valves. If you headed north, back through the valve you came, and all of you have enough movement from your current space to get all the way through, you could get the brown note back through without suffering another contraction. If you run to the south, the one that's further away, you will certainly have to go through that at least one more time.
I think we back up. Back up.
Yeah, there are other ways we haven't tried yet.
Does that include spending your action to dash?
I think we go for it.
Well, so the problem is if we back out and then we have to come back here later, we're gonna have 3 hits to the ground.
Well, we can fix the brown note.
The main
You can
problem
also
is the
find a
brown
way
note
around.
can't dash. It just moves as at the speed that
Okay.
it moves at. You,
Yeah.
you don't have any
It's
way,
just-
unless you have magic with which to speed it up or teleport it or give it flippers or something.
Not unless haste works on it.
But if all of you have enough movement to get back through the valve that you entered in, you can get back safely. If not, you're going to have to suffer another contraction if you're heading to the south.
Victor votes that we go south.
You want to tough it out? I mean,
yeah.
there's not really time to hold a vote.
Right. Jeannie's driving.
Okay.
So Victor's going south, that gun's following him.
Jeannie's going for it.
All right,
Okay.
let's get...
We can get
Are Evie and Orson still clinging to the side of the vessel?
No, Evie's moving on her own now.
Okay, then go ahead and everybody give me that dexterity save one more time.
Can we have us all dash out before the brown note starts moving?
If you want to rip all your hoses
Too
out,
long.
you can get out of the room.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Too long.
Failed.
Oh, right. I got to roll for Orson.
Evie failed.
Victor passes.
Edmont failed.
That is 22
Orson.
points of slashing damage, which you can cut in half if you pass the dex save 15. And the brown node takes more damage as well.
There goes my temp HP.
Genie,
Yep.
there are points, since you're riding inside, where the structure of the vessel is completely destroyed, and it's just the thin membrane separating you from the outside. And the thing is lumbering along now. It definitely cannot take many more hits like that. But you
Like,
manage to squeeze it through just as a third contraction starts enveloping the room behind you.
All right, Orson. Not Orson. Ekon. You have the mending spell, right?
Hold on. First of all, did everyone take significant damage going through that, or do we have a billion people with evasion?
I have evasion.
Orson's at around half his health.
Victor lost his temp HP and that's it.
I'm at
Yeah.
41 out of 69.
Edmont only took minor injury.
Jeannie's fine.
I'm going to go ahead and tag myself and Orson with 2 charges from the staff then.
Okay. It is a harsh reminder that you are the alien invaders in this environment.
So Orson gets back 9. And I get back 6. And then, yeah, I will climb inside the Brown Knight and try and cast the Mending spell to repair some of these damage. That takes a minute, so we'll be here for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just
Wait
take
for a
let's take 10 minutes.
Let's take 5.
Because we've still got hours.
Okay. Ekon, you can patch the machine up as best you can with the mending spell in terms of fixing like cracks in the wood or splits in the iron bands or something like that. But you're not an artificer.
Yep.
And you're not a mechanical engineer. And you're not sure how much of this structure can sustain damage before the membrane starts to fail. So you patched it up.
Do you have any opinion on that while I'm working on it?
Yeah. Do I have an opinion?
Make an intelligence check.
Can I make a woodworking tools check?
I'm going to say no because this is not simply a woodworking project. Let's just call it straight intelligence that you get to make because you're an artificer.
All right, that is a. I'm going to use a flash of genius on this, so that's 5, 10, 21. So
what Ekon is doing is going through and repairing like surface damage, superficial damage, which isn't trivial. Like you don't want to travel through here with boards falling off of your device. But to really do an in-depth, to really discover the extent of the damage, you would have to get this thing into your shop.
Right.
So you're just going to have to trust its construction as far as you can. I mean, remember, if you want to be pulled out, you have your sending stone. You can just, so you know that it sustained some amount of damage, but you're not really sure how much more it can take. The membrane seems to be completely intact. All of the hoses are still there. The thing hasn't been slowed down at all. It's still moving along.
I think that's. I would consider this. It seems fine, Ekon, but probably not 100%. Is basically what Jeannie's going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
When we get out of
I'm
here,
still good on.
Let's
I'm
not
still
go
good
back
on
through that room
resources.
again if we
But
can avoid it.
yeah, obviously.
when we get
If
out
it
of
takes
here,
any more damage, I think we should get out of here just for the structural integrity of the machine. Then, because
when we get out of here, let's I'm going to send back for stuff from my workshop.
That'll take days.
it's a week away.
And
Okay, do we want to confirm that this connects to the membrane we saw earlier?
Probably.
they
I'm gonna start trudging forward.
they said was a matter of life and death, but not super. It didn't seem to be.
Like life and death, but probably not your life or death. Like you can pull out at any time.
Well, I mean, life or death, but in the sense that it's not like. This is a scale of he'll probably be fine for a few weeks before he just deteriorates and dies. Is the sense I got.
So looking
We're
into
just gonna
this
show up
room,
at the second one stop.
this room is kind of a greatest hits of several of the rooms you've traveled through so far.
Is this in this room?
Nope.
Okay,
There's
just making
a wall
sure.
between you two. But separating you from the center of the room is a large pool of boiling slime with the familiar suction. And you have the narrow path along the outside as well.
Guys, this is gonna be
I'm not
fun.
attempting to clear that gap again. I'm sorry.
So again, it wouldn't require a check to maneuver the brown note along this path as long as you're not doing it under stress.
Why don't we check and make sure they're gonna attack us as we get on this path before we start pulling the brown note with us?
So
We can only
can
go
only
so
go so
far
far.
because
Well, it's fine. We'll get up here, and then Edmont, you can run around the room and activate any hidden monsters, and then teleport back, and we'll kill them, and then we'll take the machine around.
Edmont, run out and collect all the aggro.
that's what monks did in EverQuest.
EverQuest, yeah. Then you feign death at the end, clears the aggro table, lets the tank pick it up.
Yep.
Anyway, I would say let's just do the same thing we did last time.
No, we probably want to see if he's going to attack us before we start dragging the thing with us, because we don't want it to get knocked.
Well, we've only got 60 feet of hose.
Well, somebody disconnect and make a run for it.
We had
And
one.
then
Go
I
run
will-
We're back.
If stuff gets too bad, I'll just vortex warp you back.
Not it.
I'll do it.
Question. Wait, no. I'm trying to get away from the thing. Okay, I'm out. I'm in dim light. Going to dim light. If I go, like, say there,
Where are you starting?
right here, where my piece is.
I would say if you're there, you're starting in bright light because you're within like 20 feet of the brown knight, which remember is illuminating
I thought
the
it was,
area.
I thought it was 10 feet.
I'll putt back around the corner.
If you're back around the corner, then yeah, you can be in dim light around this corner, going to dim light on the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I want you to literally run around the entire range.
Edmont disconnects the hose, teleports across.
Okay. And Edmont's hose flaps and slaps against the back wall.
Genie rolls it up and brings it inside, and then putts back up.
Edmont, you can look off to your left over here on the other side here and see the next valve connecting the next room.
So, Brick Road, before we go any further, I want you to know that in my head, the note makes the same noise that makes Raz's impersonation of the Jetsons car.
How does
Yeah,
that go?
okay. That's canon now. I can't do it. Only Raz can do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Raz in the call and get him to do that. 45, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Victor will
40.
disconnect his hose and run out 30 feet and dash back.
Okay.
Just make sure nothing attacks us around the corner.
Well, you run around the corner 30 feet and turn around and go back. I mean, you can feel the suction pulling you into the center of the room, but unless you're trying to travel over the gap, you're not going to have to make a check. Probably. Unless something
All right,
pushes you in.
move plus dash gets me back around over here.
Okay. Edmont,
Here's your hose.
Yep.
make me a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. That's a 13.
13.
Please be. Where is this happening at? Because it's actually important.
Right here. Edmont, you gotta look up.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Oh, you are literally 5 feet away. Can't help you. Sorry,
Edmont.
bud.
I'm sorry, what did you get on that save?
13.
13.
Yeah.
12 points of slashing damage. It's coming around the wall. One of these bony protrusions pushes forth. The whole musculature of the wall ripples outward, slashing out at you. You manage to keep your feet, not go tumbling into the boiling slime. But yeah, rounding
Can I
this
dex
corner
save for half?
agitated this. What's that?
Was that dex save for half damage?
You pass the save. You don't take any damage.
Okay, but you said 12 damage?
No damage. You passed the dex save. You rolled a 13.
No, for 13? Okay.
Question.
You had no true difficulty dodging that motion in the wall coming around the corner. You think you would have tremendous difficulty navigating the brown note around that corner if that were to happen with the vessel there.
Question. When Victor got up next to this one up here, it didn't respond?
Nope.
Okay.
Most of the
go
bony
around.
protrusions in the dungeon haven't. In fact, this is the first one that's seemed to kind of move under its own power.
Good job, Edmont. You found it.
Sure did.
Find the trap by bumbling into it.
This one here doesn't do anything either.
Nope.
Yeah. Edmont's gonna run back and crawl back inside and reattach his hose.
Plug yourself back into that sweet, sweet oxygen.
Victor, are you plugged in?
Yeah, Victor reattached his hose.
I think we should go back around. Oh well, actually, because there was nothing to go back this way. There was nothing. There was nothing dangerous, right?
Well, if we go further south, there might be.
Because I suspect that this path leads to this.
Most likely.
Well, here's the problem: is we'd be going back across the crunchy room, and we don't want to go across.
So-
the
Oh,
crunchy
right, the
room.
crunchy room.
Oh, is
I
that the
forgot about
crunchy room?
Yeah.
It's crunchy.
Yeah, we would have
Perhaps.
to explore a different path to go back.
So
It's-
Victor would have 2 minutes of oxygen if he disconnected his hose. One round plus
You mean
your con.
is your con bonus +1?
Yes.
Then yes, you can hold your breath for 2 minutes.
That's
Is it-
20
how-
rounds.
How long would it take for Victor to examine the wall and find out if there's a way to like disarm it, for lack of a better term?
I'm not sure what you mean by disarm it.
It's
Try to disable it?
Well, to go investigate it and see if there's a way to not have it push the brown note into the hole.
You know what you could do, Victor? You could just take the salt and then make a break for it.
That seems extraordinarily dangerous.
I'm not a monk.
Yeah, you have no idea how long it would take you to figure out what's going on with the motion of the wall up there. Like,
So we could pull the brown note around and look at it instead of just blindly dragging it across to get pushed over.
you could.
Well, how about this, Victor? You and Edmont go. I give Edmont this wand that has 6 charges of this teleport spell.
I don't
You
think
go.
he can use it.
Yeah, you can. Anybody
use
can
it.
use
Anyone
it.
can use it. It's an action.
Yep, anybody can use it. And then y'all go, you drop the salt in, and then if things go south, he gets you out with the wand and you run back.
I think that leaves a pretty glaring hole in that problem. It only gets one of them out.
Well, Edmont hangs back. Like, hangs back at a safe
So
distance.
you want Victor to take the salt through this door into this room that you haven't seen yet.
Uh-huh.
And just trust that whatever's in there, Victor can handle it inside of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not a good plan, Genie. There could be like a dragon in there.
Genie, I know you love me, but no.
A microscopic dragon.
That's
I mean,
just
to our
ridiculous.
scale, it's still pretty bad.
Why don't we just drag the note over and see if we can calm down whatever this thing is so it
I don't know
doesn't...
Unless we could stop it somehow, which I
What if we just cut it out?
Well, you guys were bracing it with ropes coming through this previous chamber. So, like, even though there's some places where there's not actually 4 squares for it to rest, those are places where you're bracing it on either side with ropes.
Yeah.
And moving it
Yeah, I
along.
think we should just go through this room.
Okay. Genie is going to... It's fine. I'm going to... I'm going to try and destroy it.
Destroy the wall?
The bone protrusion, yeah.
How?
I'm going to cast Shatter on it.
Where are we
you're
doing
probably
this
going
from?
to.
From inside the note? Way over here?
Can you do that without harming the inside of the note?
I
Yeah,
mean,
the radius is...
It's a 10-foot
The radius is small.
radius.
Okay.
But it's like, but I'm like over here. The protrusion's here, isn't it?
Victor's gonna get behind the brown note. So
Oh,
that
you
when
can
everything-
cast it at that range, you mean?
Yeah, it's a 60-foot range.
Oh,
And
I thought Shadow was a cone emanating
no,
from your
that's
position.
that's
Thunderwave. I'm
Thunderwave.
thinking
Yeah,
of. Okay, sorry about that.
yeah. Shatter is like a little mini fireball that does thunder damage.
Yeah, roll some damage.
Sure.
So the goal is to try to break the hard protrusion of bone to the point where it can't impact something coming up
Right.
the path. Is that the idea?
Yes, correct. And I'm going to use 1 charge of the earring to turn that 1 into an 8. That's 17 points of damage. I think it does get to make it the saving throw, but it makes it at disadvantage.
So usually when I have like, you're damaging structures like this, I usually will assign it like a like an armor rating, like a threshold you have to get over to start damaging it.
Oh no, it doesn't get a saving throw. It also takes the damage. Got you. It's like it just basically it's creatures that are made out of inorganic material. That's what it mentions. But yeah. No,
You did 17?
17 points of damage.
So you severely crack the structure of the bone. You think 1 or 2 more of those and it might destroy it completely.
Oh, I got disconnected.
So did I.
Likewise.
Same.
Everybody did.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's you, Rick, or the central server.
I
but
think
this
it's
is a
just
client
Steam.
server game.
I think it's
Yeah,
just
Steam
taking
is
a
having a
poop.
hard time.
Yeah, my Steam friends list is yelling at me again.
Yeah.
Well, why don't I record how much damage Treble has done to this big piece of bone?
Can you? I guess we'll have to, because I'll forget. Because I can you make a note that I'm going to use a level 3 spell slot on it next time? Next to your little note of how much damage.
We just roll that right now, so everybody can update their books and we're good. You can theater the mind that.
Sure.
Yeah, let's resolve this bone.
Okay.
I mean, it's
third
almost
level-
6:30 anyway. I was 5 minutes from.
Yeah. So a level 3 spell slot would be 5d8. And anyone.
We don't have
anyone-
first place.
I can roll that for
And-
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And,
Of course, I could just tell you that I rolled all ones. What are you gonna do?
use the earring to turn 2 of them into 8s.
Well, I have 8, 8, 7, 3, 3. Do you want to use the earring to turn some of those 3s into 8s?
Yes, all 8. It just both charges, all 8s.
So you want 5 8s?
Yeah.
Well, then why did I roll? Why didn't you say you were doing that?
Oh well, you said 8, 8, 7.
So 8 times 5 is math.
It was 40.
Yeah, so 39 points of damage because you said one of those was a 7.
And yeah, the bone just crumbles. So here's the deal. You still have the musculature to deal with, but all rolls to maneuver the vessel around that corner can be made at advantage because you no longer have the actual protrusion to deal with, just the motion of the wall.
And what type of rolls will those be?
I'm going to require strength checks. Failing a strength check means you lose your grip on the vessel. And if fewer than 3 people have a grip on the vessel, it'll go tumbling in.
I can enhance ability strength at the beginning of the next session.
All right, so that's probably a good good time to set up a straw poll since I just got disconnected from my own lobby. We'll just let the table spin here while this dungeon's entirely Destil's fault.
Yeah.
You just said you had this map sitting around for 3 campaigns. I don't want to hear it.
I did. I absolutely did. I found it like years ago and fell in love with it, and it's wonderful.
It's even shaped a little bit like a sphincter.
A little, like the entry point definitely is. It's definitely the intestine.
I have to admit, this is not what I was expecting when you said, like, no horror adventure.
No, I said no horror checks. I didn't say it wouldn't be horrible. I'm gonna post
Yeah,
this.
Solitayre. You misinterpreted.
Monkey paw.
All right, I'm gonna go dark for a few minutes while I add up a bunch of experience. There's a big part of me that doesn't want to award you guys any experience for those bats because you really didn't work for it. I mean, that's a lot of just free experience that you're getting.
Excuse you, I used a level 3 spell slot on those bats.
As did I.
Okay. See, I'm gonna go dark for a few minutes while I do some math. I'll be right back.
Who was the most creative today?
I had Ekon written down, but I don't remember why. Like I wrote Ekon, but didn't write a reason.
Destroy
That's the
water.
right one.
Oh yeah, destroy water. That was it. That is just 100% like relevant for the blip. For the destroy water.
Who furthered the party's goals the most today?
I don't want to put down Edmont for just his monk bullshit moving around all these terrible things inside a human body.
Yeah.
I won't argue. He was a badass.
Give that one to Victor for the same reason, because Victor and Edmont have been going into the dangerous places.
Also, did you see what happened to those antibodies?
He did delete one.
Yes.
He deleted one.
And intangibles.
Intangibles.
Evie got swallowed again.
We all got swallowed.
Evie did well.
I mean, Evie got mauled. Do you want to give her experience for that?
Actually, no. I want to give that to Genie for all the teleports.
All right,
Yeah.
I have mathed.
For a an irresponsible amount of
Yeah.
Vortex warp.
vortex warp.
All right, who wants to
In fact, I'd be okay with swapping Genie and Edmont for those reasons, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the whole point of the bat encounter is they had that bony proboscis that on hit could puncture a hole in your fishbowl helmet.
That was
hoping to-
very
Thank you.
I was hoping to do that to at least one of you.
Oh, is the fishbowl helmets, are they glass or?
Oh
are
yeah,
they
they're
like...
glass. They're heavy
Okay.
glass.
All right. I didn't know if they were glass or if they were like magical air bubbles.
No, there's nothing magical about them. It's all science. But it's like good science, not like Ludendorff science.
Like genie science.
Like Captain Planet villain science.
Genie science is like 80% magic by volume. It's like she's propped up cheater. She's a propped up cheater is what she is. Her house is built upon lies.
I'm sure Victor Mordenheim would agree.
Yeah.
We can go back and ask her, apparently.
All right.
Really rather not.
I think I'm gonna send her a letter later.
So yeah, for 5 of the pustules, and then 7 bat creatures that never got to do anything, everybody's walking out with 2,200 experience. 2200.
Wow.
Yeah, those bats were each CR4 monsters. They were no slouch.
I mean, we did delete the encounter, probably for the best, honestly.
The point was, you guys were supposed to walk past the mineral thing, and then they were going to swoop in behind you as you were leaving. I wanted to get the party split up, half of you on the other side of the valve first.
Well, what about the ghost lady that Victor just deleted by dropping the crystal in?
Did you delete her? Is she dead?
Presumably.
Was she? Well, did you get experience?
She did
for her?
writhe in agony. I will point that out.
I feel like if
Probably
you didn't
didn't.
get experience for her, it means she's not gone.
She's probably in another hole.
You guys got
Like-
through 2 holes out of 8.
Yeah, I would say that like apparently he has a ghost woman haunting his blood.
It's like whack-a-mole. Okay.
It's like the worst thing that could happen to your blood.
Is haunted blood worse than no blood?
I mean, because I have no blood, my blood can't get haunted. That's another plus. Jeannie is like she keeps a journal, but in the journal there's a page dedicated to pluses for not having blood. And then she's got 2 or 3 because we've ran into like a couple of incredibly niche situations where it was good. And she's going to put this in her win column of you can't have haunted blood when you have no blood.
All right, who wants to make a case for some blips through this session?
I guess I can.
Victor, what do you have for me?
For whatever it takes, that would be teleporting to the wound and dropping the crystal in instead of trying to kill the ghost woman.
Okay.
For ideal seek the truth no matter the cost, that would be agreeing to get shrunk down and go in here, knowing that a small mistake would cause this guy to explode.
I mean, you guys have made some small mistakes, and he seems fine.
So far. On values knowledge over people, that would be telling Edmont to go run around the room and make sure nothing was going to come out and push the thing into the hole.
Yeah, and then
Which
what
he did.
happened?
He found the trap.
Something came out and tried to push him into the hole. And Edmond already fell into the nuclear slime once, so... Alright, who's next?
Nuclear slime.
I could go.
Genie.
Neutral, try to be better than I was yesterday for again for admitting that Jeannie did come clean about her relationship with oh god, what is his name? The gentleman we're inside the butt of.
You literally entered a man's ass and you don't know his name?
Zachiel Dantes.
Zachiel. Listen, I am terrible at taking notes. I have a terrible memory.
I didn't remember his last name, if that makes you feel better.
Zachiel. So for admitting the relationship and the subterfuge that the straight up lie she told.
Okay.
in their first encounter. My ideal practical solutions to impractical problems. Well, we need to get around. I have this stick that can teleport people 10 times. And don't worry about my flaw. Don't worry about it. It was just a setback for the plan. I think it was still a good plan. Victor, Edmont, the two of you take the teleport stick. You go in the other room. You throw the salt in, and then you get out. What do you mean that there could be something bad on the other side of the door? It's fine.
Every door has been fine so far.
I think we're batting like a 500, so they've got a coin flip. It's like a coin flip. It's fine, right? End the video.
Okay. Who's next?
I can go.
Evie.
Alignment chaotic good. I will do my duty, but I will always be true to myself for wanting to help Zaki Aldantes, but probably wanting to grill him a little bit afterwards.
It's like, hey man, why is your ass haunted? Be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair question. Ideal, I must become a leader that others can believe in for guiding the party to not use wildly destructive abilities and magic inside this man's ass.
That's been partially effective so far. I feel like we still had... There was a create bonfire. There's been a couple of shatters.
Yeah.
3.
There haven't been any fireballs yet, so that's a victory.
Well, the fireballs are not effective. They do half damage.
Flaw no one understands for all her ass insecurity.
What?
Her ass is not like this.
She just keeps like, there's no ghosts in my ass. There are no what is she? There's no bats in my ass.
If you want to confirm that, you need someone who's trained in both religion and medicine. Fortunately.
So
Ekon seems very intent on getting into Evie's ass.
we're gonna like shrink down and go into Evie's butt next.
Can we not?
It's just this whole part of the campaign is just a series of butt adventures.
Like,
Yeah, this might be the worst game I've ever run. This is pretty.
So all I know is that I know what I'm doing on my on the next major time skip. We're taking the submarine at Evie's butt.
I didn't think we could get worse than the butt pirates at sea. That was the previous most juvenile thing I've introduced into these campaigns. Who's
Now
next?
we have a butt dungeon. I can go.
Edmont, what do you have for me?
I have my alignment lawful evil, blood runs thicker than water, and my own blood thicker still. Victor be like, hey, go run around there. No, I'm going to just teleport across, please. Thank you very much. It's like, Victor, you know, let's do this smartly.
But then you just ran back from the other direction.
Yeah.
But the whole point to do it smartly was to check for traps, and if you skip half the path.
Victor, I don't give it...
Edmont's gonna just start pushing Victor in front of suspected traps now.
That's what the rest
Yeah.
of us do.
Well, Victor used to go first, and then Edmont started wanting to go first, so Victor's just encouraging him.
Victor's the one who ended up in the gelatinous cube. Does Edmont have anything else?
This world is filled with predators and prey, and I sure as hell am not the prey for being the first person to punch the crap out of white blood cells.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I got.
And that leaves Ekon.
I've got Lawful Good, the Shining Words of Air, lay down a path for us all for his performance in the white blood cell encounter, where he managed to keep everyone from dying despite the fact that we can't throw fireballs around.
Those were reskinned death caps, by the way. I felt that was
Got
appropriate.
his ideal. We'll make it out somehow for collecting samples of unsealy substances for research.
Okay.
It's legitimately just either a fat deposit or
The fat deposits
Cancer.
have bats in them? And then I've got Flaw. I'm sure there's something good over the next hill for his plan to just take the note across the acid pools. Let's go across. It's fine. Get some ropes.
or
And
cancer
initiative.
bats. Cancer bats.
I mean, yeah, living in Ravenloft for 3 years, Evie can't be sure there's no bats in her butt. I mean, a typical citizen of Ravenloft swallows 8 bats a year on average. Who had the most creative solution to a problem?
That was Ekon for the Destroy Water spell.
I enjoyed that. I thought that was appropriate. Who did the most to further the party's goals?
We gave that and Badass to both, like one each. Victor and Edmont for basically being the dungeon traversal team.
Okay. So we're splitting that 1 and 1?
Yeah, basically going to the dangerous spots and then teleporting out.
And what about Intan Geibles?
That was Genie for an irresponsible amount of Vortex Warp.
Okay. What would be a responsible amount?
Probably back when I was like level 4 or 5, and I only had 2 level 1s to 2 level 2 slots.
Okay.
I now can cast this spell 16 times a long rest.
Wow.
Um,
All that warping, and you only made it to 2 of the evil legions.
Vortex Warp is like one of my favorite spells in 5th edition. It's great.
I think Ekon
It's pretty good.
has our straw poll for the week. All right, Edmont. You're
Sir.
at 4 blips, and you just earned 3.
I'll take one into next session.
You'll take 1 blip into next session, so you're cashing the rest in?
No, I'll take 6. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're cashing in 1.
I'll cash in 1. How much are they worth?
Oh, sorry about that. I'll look that up for you. We're level 12 now, yes? Oh,
believe it's
666.
Right.
Hail Satan. Ekon, you have 6, so you just earned 6, which you're rolling over.
I need to spend all 6 to cash. No, I'll guess all 6 because I have to spend 6 to level up.
So you're coming in next week with 6 blips?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had 6, earned 6, coming in with 6.
Evie, you have 6 and you earned 3 that you're rolling over. Gina, you
Yes.
have 4 and you just earn 5. You have to roll over at least 3. You going to come in next week with 6?
Yeah.
And
I might.
Victor had
Okay.
0 and earned 4, so you just have 4 now.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in with 4.
Actually, I'm going to come in next session with 0 because I want to level.
So you're cashing in the whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Edmont
Welcome
has
to
none.
level 12. We make sure that we have...
Edmont has none blip.
I don't have level 12 reputations for some of you guys.
You should have it for me.
I don't have a level 11 reputation for Edmont, Ekon, or Victor.
I've got mine 11 right here written down. Destroyed the Alhoon.
That's a fun word. What was Edmont's level 11?
Edmont's level 11 was... oh, God. Teamwork. Because... hard to like quantify this, but Edmont set up that hit, that shot for... that Alhoon shot for Ekon. I can't... But I'm having really...
What was Victor's?
Victor's level 11 was when he stabbed Darkwood, so he's gonna take Pit Fighter for that reputation.
And I got my 12 here.
Okay.
If you want to take it. Crafted the Staff of Healing.
Victor's level 12 was gonna be Friend of the Vistani.
Do you have mine written down?
I have Engineering Foreman for Genie.
Yep,
I don't
that's
have one for Evie or Edmont for 12. Presumably because Edmont just got there.
Yeah, Edmont's would be renowned artist.
He is.
Renowned painter.
Specifically for helping the nobility feel better about how they treat their peasants. Because they
Yeah.
have a man in a straw hat in their painting now.
Yep.
You could be noble therapist.
Did Evie have a level 12 yet?
I hit level 12. I didn't give you a reputation for it.
I'll take one if you have it. Are you taking Rogue at 12?
Yeah. Evie's probably going to be all rogue from here on out. And the reputation, Mercy Killer.
Figured you would take something related to the Night Order.
Well, that hadn't happened yet when I hit level 12.
All right. I feel like I took some of these down. Maybe I didn't the spreadsheet didn't save properly. Like Google Docs had a burp or something. It didn't save properly. But okay, we're up to date there now.
So Edmont got Edmont's big one is his damage die went up.
Yay!
Oh, so you're just gonna punch the back half of this dungeon into submission? Then is that it?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm going for here.
Okay.
Need to update Orson to level 11 too.
Now we've decided that I'm not going to play any Dungeons and Dragons on Christmas. Listen, I love you guys, but I have better things to do that day.
I don't know about that, but go ahead.
But we should be playing on New Year's Day, I believe.
I think it's what we agreed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have the next 2 weeks. We'll be playing through this nonsense body horror dungeon, and then we'll have a week off for Christmas. Then we'll be back on New Year's Day. All right. Thanks so much for playing, guys. I'll see everybody next Sunday.
Later.
Later.